Hey, what's up everybody? So I've been getting a lot of questions lately about what it means for self-employed people to get the PPP, like how the PPP loan is calculated, how forgiveness is calculated if you're self-employed. And so I figured I'd just make a quick video about, explaining the basics around that. So what I mean by self-employed is people who file their business taxes on a 1040 Schedule C. This usually means you're a sole proprietor or you're a single member LLC. And this doesn't apply to single member LLCs who are taxed as corporations. So this is just strictly single member LLCs or sole proprietors. If you're self-employed and you don't have any employees, then you're probably wondering, what are they going to use for the payroll calculation when they're calculating for the PPP? The thing that they're going to look at is your 2019 net income from your business. So this is your revenue minus all your expenses, that bottom number, net income. They're going to use that number to calculate your loan amount and how much you're going to get. So what you want to do is take that number, your net income, let's say it's $12,000 for the year, divided by 12 to get your monthly income. So that'll be $1,000 a month. Multiply it by 2.5, because that's the calculation for calculating the PPP loan amount, is multiplying your monthly average payroll by 2.5. So in this case, you don't have payroll, you have your monthly net income. So you have 1,000 times 2.5, your loan amount is going to be $2,500. Now, if you have employees, if you are self-employed and you have employees, you would do the normal calculation for the PPP for your employees on payroll plus your net income amount that we just went through, the calculation that we just went through. Now for forgiveness, if you don't have any employees and it's just you, the calculation is quite different. So to calculate that, you're going to take your net income from 2019 again, and now you're going to divide it by 52. This will give you your weekly average income, or payroll, if you will. So once you divide it by 52, you're going to multiply that number by 8. So you're basically calculating 8 weeks of your average payroll. The number that you get there will be your forgiven amounts for the payroll portion. And this is automatic. From what I understand, you don't have to keep any records or make checks to yourself and all that stuff. You don't have to do that. From my understanding, that is just automatic. And that should equal around 70 to 75% of the PPP loan amount. Because as you know, 75% at minimum has to be used for payroll. But for self-employed people who file on Schedule C, that calculation is calculated based on 8 weeks of your average pay. So that means the rest of the loan amount, the other 25 to 30%, has to be used for qualifying mortgage or qualifying rents and utilities in order to be forgiven. So, what that looks like is if you have a current lease that you're renting space from, that can be used, or utilities for that space. And from my current understanding, if you're using home office deductions, like you're working out of your home and you work out of your office and you take the square footage of your office versus the square footage of your house. From my understanding, that is not a qualified rent / mortgage interest / utilities expense. This has to be an executed lease between your business and the landlord, strictly for your business. And from there, that would be used to substantiate the forgiveness of your PPP. So those are the two main things I wanted to talk about, is calculating the loan amount and calculating the forgiveness, at least the payroll portion for self-employed people. Now, if you're self-employed and you have employees, then same thing like the calculation of the loan amount, you would take your total payroll that you pay your employees plus the 8-week pay that you pay yourself based on your net income, and that would be used as the forgiveness amount for the payroll portion. That's all I wanted to talk about today. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure to smash that like button. Smash it real hard, but not too hard because you might crack your screen. So just smash it a little hard, I guess, and hit that subscribe button if you want to stay tuned with more updates. And take care, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Stay safe out there.